So the question that was posed was, well, Marcus, how do you work to improve the lives of babies with an HIE diagnosis? For this video today, I'm going to combine a couple of subjects. I've done videos and I've done articles on these individually, but today for this video, I'm going to combine all of this together and help you get a good picture basically of how we work to help these children. So when a family initially contacts me or my office, our number one concern when we're listening to that family and when we're trying to get an idea as to factually what was going on, and then putting that together for the legal aspect of things, the primary concern is the baby. And that is because the baby is the one who has suffered the traumatic brain injury. And so if you are new to the HIE journey, I'm going to define that term now. HIE is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, and in our context, it is a reduction in oxygenated blood, which can lead a baby to suffer a traumatic brain injury. Now, the cause of HIE, there can be multiple things which can cause an HIE injury, and you can have genetic issues that can present themselves, genetic challenges. You can have developmental challenges. They can also present themselves and cause an HIE injury. But for our context is generally birth trauma. And when I say birth trauma, what I mean is that it's something that the doctors or the nurses or the hospitals, it's something that they have failed to do, which has caused the baby to suffer this traumatic brain injury during labor and delivery. And most of the time in our situations, it is generally the doctors and the nurses failing to take note of what was going on the electronic fetal heart monitor. In other words, the baby was in a compromised situation, and this can be, going on for a considerable amount of time, and the doctors or the nurses, hospital, for whatever reason, they didn't pick up on it, and the baby has now suffered a traumatic brain injury. So that is the context in which we work through to help these babies. Now, when it comes to looking at and assessing the damages or the injury that has been done, what we do is we use life care planners. We use professionals and experts who are able to understand disability. They understand how disability is going to impact a person or a child. They understand the types of treatments and the type of things that are going to be needed moving into the future. So one way we do this is we use life care planners, and inside that life care plan, we also like to put together what we call a day in the life video. And that day in the life video, what it does is it allows outsiders, it allows people who are outside the home to be able to see specifically how this traumatic brain injury has impacted this family. It allows fact finders or mediators or individuals who will have to make assessments in this case. It allows them to see what this family is going through. And these day in the life videos, they can be extremely powerful in letting the outside understand how this traumatic brain injury has impacted not only this child, but the family also. In addition to using life care planners, we also use what we call, when applicable, special needs trusts. And I'm not going to get too deep into that aspect of it because that's a whole nother area of law. But special needs trusts are used to be able to not only to protect the baby's funding. So you'll have special needs trusts, you'll have a trustee, and in some instances when trust advisors are needed, those are also individuals that we use. And all of these things are there to help this baby be able to live the best life possible, even with the challenges that an HIE injury can subject a baby to. Just because they have an HIE injury, that does not mean that child should not be able to live the best life that they possibly can. So, I know I kind of talked about a lot in this video, and there's a lot of, different issues and areas of law that are being, discussed in this video, but it's my hope to help you understand that when you contact someone like me, a birth trauma attorney, that my main goal, specifically if this is a claim for this baby on a traumatic brain injury, my focus is to do the best that I can for this child and to ensure that this baby can get the best life possible, and to hold those individuals who are responsible. If the doctors and the nurses, at the hospital, if they are the ones who cause this injury and this harm, well, then it is only fair that they are there to be able to be held responsible for what they caused. If you have more questions, maybe you're watching this video today because your baby has suffered an HIE injury and you have questions as to what caused it. What caused it? Was this something that the doctors or the nurses did? Was it genetics? Was it developmental? In other words, you want a birth injury investigation done to be able to help you have answers or to find answers. If you have that going on, what I invite you to do is to go ahead and pick up the phone and call me. There's a telephone number that's down below on the screen. I invite you to go ahead and pick up the phone and call my office. Remember, it costs you absolutely nothing to speak with us about your baby story. One more thing. Also, remember, when you call my office, make sure that you pick a date and a time. That is important. Pick a date and a time for us to be able to return your call because, you got to pick a date and time so we'll know, when to reach back out to you. Before I get out of here, I want to make sure that you understand that I practice law here in the state of Maryland. And I know that because this video is on the internet and from time to time we'll have individuals who will contact us and they are not in Maryland. If you're in the United States and you contact us and you're not in Maryland, just understand that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can look to work to help you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or that local counsel aspect of things if you're not here in the state of Maryland. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. Talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.